important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
As we said, most schools here in the Treasure Valley opened up today. The exception being the Caldwell School District. They are closing schools today. Valley View School District is closed. Wilder School District is closed. Also, Boise State University classes delayed until 11 o'clock today. So those are the big ones that you have to worry about as far as closures are concerned. But when you look at the actual commute for today, that's where it's going to be a little bit questionable. You want to keep an eye out for things like, slushy and slick conditions. Also, listen, there's a thing called black ice, Big J, that some people need to be familiar with. There could be patches of it available because while it has warmed up since the last couple of days, there could still be some things underlying some of those slushy roads that you're not aware of. So just be careful making turns, those kind of things. Also, school buses may run a little bit late today. So there's that. And then we got ourselves some additional issues, but you just want to be cognizant of what's going on out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, distance from the vehicle in front of you is really important.
Yes.
So, especially if it's slick out. It's a mistake that was made yesterday on the freeway.
Yeah, that's why there were some pretty serious accidents yesterday. You got to give yourself some space because if somebody in front of you decides to slow down for whatever reason, you need to be able to do so with the right amount of space.
Or they happen to hit that slice of black ice at the right moment. They're going to start spinning out of control, and it's a mess, man. Scary stuff.
There's also some additional snow and rain in the forecast for today, something to keep in mind, and then some more throughout the weekend, maybe some snow on Sunday and a little bit on Monday as well, President's Day. That could be a 3-day weekend for you, so keep that in mind, whatever it is that you're planning, but just give yourself some extra time today on the commute. You're going to need it, probably, but be safe and get to work safe and get to school safe and get to any place that you're going safe today. Please.
Keep it locked here.
Okay. For traffic updates, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
All the updates.
College football players are celebrating a major win with a new agreement that pays them more for their likeness in upcoming video games. Pathway Sports and Entertainment, a company focused on helping athletes get NIL rights, has signed over 450 players from top schools to a deal that gives them $1,500 up front and potential royalties for appearing in the popular EA Sports college football game. So
yeah, they got a raise already.
That's exactly right. Well, listen, as popular as that college football game was, you better believe it.
And I don't know if you announced this while I think I was gone when this came out, that they're going to be coming out with another season of it.
Yes. Yeah, that was a given. I mean, They had announced that pretty much that the series was coming back when they announced that they were making another one. So, yeah, this is going to be a la Madden. Now that they have the agreement in place with the schools and the athletes, this will be a yearly video game release. And so you can look forward to that, which, by the way, Big J, a game I still play. Like, if I'm playing a video game, it's going to be the college football game. You still haven't played it, right?
No.
Now, how come? Oh, because you're stuck on Madden.
I'm in the Madden world.
Got it.
In the Mutt world.
If you are a fan of Dungeons & Dragons, know this. A live-action series titled The Forgotten Realms is in development in Netflix. Drew Crivello, who was previously attached to a Paramount Plus version of this particular show that did not go forward, will still write and showrun it. And Sean Levy, Big J, you're familiar with his work, will executive produce the series. I don't know if it's supposed to be running incongruent with the movie that we saw that a lot of fans enjoyed.
It was good. It was fun, man.
Or if it's something different altogether, taking it a little bit more serious and less comedy. I'm not sure. But know that they're going to try to go Dungeons & Dragons live action series style for your streaming service soon. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your first round of important stuff. It is the X Rocks. Asked what it's like here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. We always are talking about how it's nice to get better sleep and how you need that in order to function and be at the top of your game at your job or at school or whatever it is that you're focused on during the day. And it is interesting as they did a deep dive into people's sleep habits, and they found that 38% of Americans cannot sleep in silence. And I believe you count yourself among that, right? I mean, you can sleep, but you need the TV on in order to fall asleep, right?
I don't need it. It just helps.
When did that start? Was it always that way?
No.
Okay.
No. Probably like, I want to say a year ago, really.
Wow.
And then
okay.
and then I didn't really pay that much attention to it. It just kind of something that happened. And then I was like, maybe I should try this. And it just it seems to really, it puts me into a deeper sleep. So, I'll probably wake up after 4 hours at some point for whatever reason. But for those 4 hours, I am out. Nothing will wake me up.
And you have the sleep timer on. So when does the TV shut off for you after you fall asleep? Do you know?
Well, I mean, I set it for a half hour.
Okay.
So maybe I'll watch for 15 minutes. It only takes 10 minutes tops.
Okay. So then you're out like a little baby.
Yeah, but so I don't really, need the fan noise or any of that stuff because I'm asleep.
Right. So once you're asleep, and then you say you wake up after 4 hours, you don't need the TV back on to fall back asleep. You were able to fall back asleep, okay?
Yeah.
But you don't sleep as well.
I don't think so. No, okay. I feel like I get better sleep when I do that. And when that routine gets interrupted, I just don't feel like I get as much sleep or good sleep, anyways. And then if I'm not feeling good or the last couple nights I've had this terrible headache thing that I just can't figure out. Had that most of the night.
Oh, so the caffeine wasn't the solution?
I don't know. Maybe I didn't have enough yesterday. Maybe I should have had some right before bed. That doesn't make any sense.
No.
But so it's not an exact science for me, but so far it seems to be working much better than it used to. Anyways.
Yeah, they're finding that more and more Americans, for whatever reason, need that particular type of noise before they go to sleep. Why that is, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just a little bit. Maybe we just bombard ourselves at every waking hour with all sorts of media and light and noise that we need something to slowly ramp us down off of that, which probably isn't healthy.
When's the last time you just sat in quietness?
Well, I read, so I do it all the time.
But there's nothing else going on?
No, why would I want to know?
You're a psycho.
That's not psychopathic. I'm reading a book.
Yeah, clearly, based on what you just said, that makes you a psycho.
No, it's only 38%, Big J. So it's still a majority of Americans that can do this. It's just they are seeing a rising number of people that, and I don't read when I'm trying to go to sleep either. That's a different thing altogether. But I do. I am happy to sit in my chair and open up a window and turn on a light and read for hours at a time and not have the TV on in the background or trying to, because then it's just competing with my attention and that doesn't make any sense.
What a psychopath.
Listening to a bunch of different things at once is crazy to me. But white noise is certainly something that can help. Those are seeing a lot of upticks as well. The white noise machines or white noise apps are very popular. I have never had a lot of success with them, but I can understand why people would. I'm somebody that needs a fan. That fan does provide a little bit of white noise, and so I believe there's probably something going on there. But I have slept with the TV on. I have slept with it off. None of it really impacts me very much. But to those that need it to go in, they're finding that it's interesting how many, and it seems to be only an American thing, which is the other weird thing. Like you go over to other countries, you're talking about 3 to 5% of the population needs this. So something's going on here with our attention spans that probably leads into why we need this to go to sleep so much.
It's probably government interference.
You think? That's how they get their propaganda in?
Yeah.
Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your sleep
UFOs.
update. We got ourselves Big J's Song of the Week. It's next on the X-Rock. That is Filter. Hey, man, nice shot here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Every single Friday, Big J selects a song to introduce you to on Friday mornings, get the blood flowing, get you ready for the weekend. First, we find out the what, then we find out the why. Big J, what do you got for us this week?
Yeah, some Giovanni and the Hired Guns, a new song here. It's called Quitter.
All right, check it out. It's Big J's Song of the Week on the X-Rock. Here's Big J's Song of the Week. It is Quitter by Giovanni and the Hired Guns. Big J, what you picking that song for?
Yeah, so that's a new song from Giovanni, and written right out of rehab, this song, which makes me laugh even harder when I heard it.
Yeah, it doesn't know. It makes it sound like it didn't stick.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, but I think about 6 or 7 months ago, they were supposed to roll through town again, and they canceled that because dude went to rehab. And so they put out this song. Their album Quitter comes out March 14th. I don't know what it is about it, his voice or this band, but man, I just dig everything I've heard from these guys. And this is another great example of what they do, I think.
All right. So has this been on Cage Match yet? Or
Yes.
Beautiful. How did it do?
Not good against
you guys.
Hey, it was up against Pop Evil. So
I know.
They're crushing everybody.
Hardest song wins, always. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's Big J's Song of the Week coming up in a few minutes. So we got some important stuff. That's next on the X.
important stuff.
What's going on in the news today?
The Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Big J, happy Valentine's Day to the entire Treasure Valley, dude.
Yeah, we love you.
And hopefully you're not cutting any corners this year, but apparently, according to a survey of 20,000 Americans, about 20% of you in relationships plan on spending less than you did last year. That's not great.
Yeah, don't be losers.
The average respondent thinks you should spend at least $133 in American money for a good Valentine's Day.
I mean, didn't we just talk about the opposite of this the other day, that ladies would prefer homemade things? Like things that didn't really necessarily cost a lot of money?
Not necessarily prefer, but it was what we talked about was you need to do something. Even if it's a homemade thing, it's the thought that counts that makes you think. So even if you're like, we don't celebrate Valentine's Day, doing something goes a lot farther than doing nothing at all whatsoever.
All right.
But if you're going to do something that includes spending money, you better throw down at least $133. But there is certainly lots of people that are doing the no-spend trend. 32% of couples are intentionally not spending a dime this February 14th, but again, doing things more in the handmade kind of style. They're spending time together, trying to figure out things they can do together that are romantic, that don't necessarily cost a lot of money. So whichever route you're taking, just a reminder, you should probably plan something out for today. Make it seem like today is important if you're in a relationship with somebody, you know?
Yeah.
At least say Happy Valentine's Day or express something or whatever the case may be, but it is important to do. So don't drop the ball. We've been telling you this for well over a week now. Don't drop that ball. Well, it's official, at least if you believe the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers has been told by the team he will not return to be their quarterback next season. The franchise confirmed this yesterday. The Jets thanked Rodgers for his leadership and stated they'll be moving in a different direction at quarterback for next season. So another rebuild for the Jets. Big J, does Aaron Rodgers hang it up, or do you see him playing for another franchise?
I don't know. I'm not sure I care at this point. Go start an ayahuasca retreat somewhere.
You think there's a popularity for that? Like, people want to sign up for Aaron Rodgers stuff? People want to be more like Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, sure. Well, I'm sure there's several people that are, out there.
All right.
On the edge.
I'm not sure how that would do, but I also don't think that that's where he would go. I don't know, man. I mean, listen, he's got a hell of a resume, but he is a bit of a different person these days.
As the personality and the stuff aside, like the on-field thing, the Achilles injury, especially when you're older, I mean, it's going to take some time to get back. And you saw at the end of the year, he started to get some of that back. I think he's got, he's got a cannon for an arm. He's been around a long time. He's been good at this game. I still think he has some physical capabilities that weren't shown during this last season because of him trying to get back to where he was before that, because that injury is hard to come back from the older you are.
I don't know, again, if it was as much him as it was the people protecting him. The Jets have a terrible offensive line.
Yeah.
And the other side note to this is whatever team is going to need him or would want him probably also has a terrible offensive line. And so I think if he's behind a good offensive line and has time to throw, as he did against those couple teams where the teams that maybe they were going up against didn't care as much and weren't rushing as hard, I think it showed you what he could do if he has time to throw. But the problem is, if you're going to go to another team, these teams are going to have a lot of issues. And offensive line is probably one of them. I mean, whether you're talking about the New Orleans Saints or you're talking about the the Las Vegas Raiders, those teams have questionable offensive lines that repeatedly got their quarterbacks hurt last year. And so the question becomes, do you want to take on that job at 42 years old? And the answer is probably nah, I'm good.
And I don't think they organizationally have the means necessary to deal with his attitude.
Sure. And then on top of that, you've got multiple problems, but you're talking about laying down $40 million a year, $35 for Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's a lot of cheese, dude.
Wow.
It's a lot. If you are a Tolkien fan, know this. The Rings of Power has been renewed for a third season at Amazon Prime after Season 2 ended in cliffhangers. The upcoming season is set to start filming near London this spring, and so look for a maybe late 2025, early 2026 release of Season 2. Again, they saw an increase in viewership for Season 2. And I know lots of people that really, really enjoy this series, and I know a couple that aren't big fans. So it kind of depends on where you lie on the lore of the Lord of the Rings kind of stuff. Because, again, this is a prequel telling you different stories, not really stuff that was orchestrated by Tolkien himself, but the family's overseeing it. So it's got some interesting kind of takes on
They're
things.
overseeing the money coming in.
Yeah, it's a lot of money to put this together.
Never heard of it.
You've definitely heard of it. You've just never watched it. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We are going to go to hell, and we're going to do it next on the X Rocks.
On to hell. What the hell? The Morning After with Nick and Big J on 100.3 The X Rocks.
Listen, Big J, if we're going to be honest, in our lives, all of us have told little white lies to get out of something. You know what I mean?
Oh, heck yeah. I might do it later today.
Yeah, whether it's I'm not feeling that great, or something else has come up, or I'm calling in fake sick to work so that I don't have to come into work. All of these things are part of our playbook. But I have always been somebody, and maybe it's just me, but I have been somebody that has drawn the line where involving somebody else in my little white lie, because I feel like that karma is going to come back. Like, I won't say something like,
yeah, example.
My kids are sick, I can't come to work
Oh,
today.
yeah, that's bad karma.
When they're not sick, and then it's like, listen, then they're going to be sick, and that's going to be my fault because I manifested that into the universe kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So I won't play that card if it's just not okay to me. I also have never told somebody that somebody else that I have loved has passed away, and that's a reason why I can't do anything.
I think that's probably like the worst thing you could do.
Yeah,
or throw in a major disease like cancer.
Yes, also not okay.
That's not a white lie.
No, it's not. It's a huge lie.
It's a red hot, dirty lie.
That's a crime, usually. A Cincinnati man is in serious trouble because he involved his grandfather into a little white lie that got larger and larger and larger. It's like a sitcom episode, how this all came together. So earlier this month,
Enthusiasm episode.
a 29-year-old man named Barry Gopel was found out that his girlfriend was cheating on him. So he was so devastated that he was like, listen, I'm in a deep, dark depression. I'm not going to my work today. I'm going to see if I can't get out of going to work a couple of days and just, wallow on my own pity. And it's been a rough couple weeks. So instead of using some time off or whatever, he decided to call his employer, where he worked as a security financing operation analyst, and ask for bereavement leave from November 8th to November 10th, claiming that his grandfather in Indiana had died in his sleep. His request was granted, but his company requires some sort of proof.
Most do.
If they want bereavement leave, and so he asked for the grandparents' death certificate. That's when things got complicated, Big J.
Yeah, how do I fake this?
To stall for time, he told his supervisor he could only send him the death certificate after his father returned from a trip. Meanwhile, he contacted a relative of a friend who had died in July of 2023, claiming that he needed a copy of a death certificate to help him with his time off from work to attend the funeral. He then proceeded to forge the document for his grandfather on his laptop, send a photo of it to his supervisor, conveniently leaving out the bottom of the death certificate, which has a QR code for verifying its authenticity.
Oh, geez, that's fancy.
Unfortunately for Barry, the supervisor wasn't satisfied and asked for a copy of the entire document for the records at the insistence of his supervisor. So he sent the entire document and resigned from his job, knowing that the lie would be discovered.
Damn.
If you don't know...
Just tell your boss your girlfriend cheated on you and you need a couple days.
Right. It's just that you buried yourself in this lie. If you don't know, forging a death certificate...
No, he buried his grandfather in the lie.
Yeah, also true. Forging a death certificate is a crime. You can be fined up to $10,000 for this, face jail up to 10 years or more. And so he got lucky. He got a $4,000 fine for this particular thing. Of course, he's out of a job as well. And so it was a whole big brouhaha of concocting this whole story and then having to come up with some sort of forgery, all because you wanted, 2 days off of work this is for.
Yeah, but only 2 days.
Yeah. Just call in sick and just say you're not feeling that great, man. And then get back at her the next week.
He might have some other additional problems.
Oh, no. Listen, if this is your first,
There might be a reason your lady stepped down on you, dude.
this is your first reaction to this particular problem, and then you go all in on the lie, yes. I mean, at no point was this past the point of no return. You could just go, hey, listen, man, I'm sorry. But listen, involving your grandfather, again, this is karma coming back at you. Involving your very alive grandfather into your lie to get out of work is what caused this whole thing
now,
to happen.
if this were a sitcom episode, what would happen is another family member who found out what you're doing would then also fake that your grandfather just passed away from sleeping at night.
Yeah, there would be no death certificate story involved in this or sitcom, that's for sure. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your We're Going to Hell story. It is the X-Rocks. Powerman 5000 when worlds collide here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. It's Valentine's Day. Today is going to be a very loving day for a lot of couples, Big J, which is what the day is supposed to be about. But it also could be the death rattle of a couple of couples, Big J.
Oh, no.
There's a lot more couples out there in the United States of America that list today as a make or break point in their relationship than I would deem comfortable with. According to a new survey by the Talker Research, which surveyed 50,000 couples in a relationship, 19% of unmarried couples, 17% of married couples say that Valentine's Day is a huge deal for a boost in their relationship. They say that over the years, or at least over the couple of months, things have gotten a little stagnant, a little stale. All they do is sit around and watch TV, and they need this Valentine's Day and the effort put into it to save the staleness in their relationship. 30% of married couples said that while Valentine's Day wasn't a make or break situation, it needed a boost to their relationship, and Valentine's Day gives them a chance to do something different and a little creative. So now we're at the point of 47% of married couples say that Valentine's Day is an incredibly important day in their relationship, which is, again, a lot of people. Agree or disagree, Big J?
Yeah, that's a lot.
Big J, interestingly, 35% of men believe that Valentine's Day isn't that big of a deal, whereas 6% of women believe that. So once again, it's a very vast minority of women, and men may be a little bit more confused about how big of a deal this is to your significant others than they let on or than you may understand. So a reminder, I hope it's not a make or break day for you. That feels like a lot of pressure to put on a holiday that's supposed to be romantic and a little bit extra. But hey, listen, man, this is, again, an opportunity that we've told you. You can't be dropping that ball, bro.
Yeah, and if you waited till today, you're done.
Yeah, that ball's dropped already.
You're done, pal.
Well, yeah, you can't run to the gas station and get like some flowers and some chocolates. They're going to know the amount of effort that you put into things. So try to keep that in mind as well. Not to say that has to be a crazy-ass elaborate plan, but a little bit of thought put into it. And maybe if you're an expert at last-minuting things, you can pull it off. But who knows? We just say to you the best of luck. And hopefully your relationship isn't teetering on what happens today.
Yeah.
But apparently there are a lot of them that are. So watch your back, everybody. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Reminder, this weekend is the T Mazda's President's Day Tax Season 5-Day Super Sale at the Caldwell Event Center. It's happening all the way through Monday. You can grab a new Mazda or a better pre-owned car, double your tax refund down for the payment, buy with $5 down, and also get 130% of book value for your trade. Big J going to be out there broadcasting live Saturday. That's tomorrow from 1 to 3. Also have a chance to win some Disturbed tickets out there as well as some great car deals. So swing on by, and hey, maybe your Valentine's Day plan is getting your significant other a car, huh?
Yeah.
And T Mazda's beautiful tax season 5-day super sale for President's Day at the Caldwell Event Center could be the key. So check it out tomorrow and the live broadcast from 1 to 3. Morning After with Nick and Big J. Coming up, we got some important stuff and your pop culture smackdown. It's the X.
In search of news. Important stuff.
Launch newsfeed.
On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
The internet is abuzz, Big J, tripping over themselves, getting United Airlines props for bringing back something they took away a couple of years ago. Now, you and I aren't exactly United Airlines frequent flyers, but we have flown a couple of times. I have never encountered this on a flight, but that doesn't mean it's not a thing. Apparently, they served stroopwafels for a very long time on their flights.
Stroopwafel?
If you're not familiar, it's the popular Dutch snack that is essentially like a waffle-shaped cookie that has syrup infused in it. I have never had these until Adam brought in some for a potluck we had a couple of months ago, and they're absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
So I can understand why people were passionate about them, but apparently they went away for a while. But now the United Airlines has announced that the treat will be part of their complimentary economy food and beverage service on flights over 300 miles, and people are ecstatic about it.
Yeah, much like the Bischoff cookies, they pair really well with coffee.
That's exactly what the people are excited for. They say that, they dip really well in coffee, and they're the perfect combination for a long flight that make people happy. So I guess if you are a United flyer, know that you're going to have some stroopwafels coming soon.
Guess
And
they were
you
like,
can enjoy
we
them.
better start kissing people's ass again.
I mean, somebody's got to.
Yeah.
Let's go. Big J, Tom Brady is still making moves, baby. He's buying up the Las Vegas Raiders. He's buying up everything, and now he's making waves in the sports collectibles industry with a big investment in a company called Card Vault. If you haven't heard of it, it's a pretty popular sports card and memorabilia retailer. It didn't take him long, Big J, to shake things up. He purchased 50% of the company, and then he immediately renamed the company Card Vault by Tom Brady, so there's that.
Yeah, suck it. Rest of the people who were part of this.
Take this branding. Now it's mine. Like, I invented it. And so if you are a collector, know that that is the new name for it. And Tom Brady appears to be getting his hands in pretty much anything he can do. So why not?
Yeah.
You and I heard the same people. We weren't able to hear I have no idea how good or bad Tom Brady did during the Super Bowl, I guess is my point. But we heard some criticism of him together when people were talking about it. Do you think he comes back and does more play-by-play, or do you think he steps back?
Absolutely he does. And,
Okay.
I mean, people are way too judgmental on these things anyways.
Oh, listen,
I'll
people
tell
are,
you-
period. You could end it at judgmental.
I mean, I also don't think it's how good or what they're saying. They already got a pre-bias against certain people anyways. But you know what I miss is the 3-person booth. Like, they used to have that back in the day, and I think I think a good combination would be Burkhardt, Tom Brady, and Greg Olsen. Why not make it big? Like, that would be really cool.
Yeah. I don't know. But I do enjoy Tom Brady. I don't think he's very good at being a announcer in the world of football, but it's his first season, and he threw into the first chair. They expected too much out of the guy. They didn't give him any time to warm up. Greg Olsen, when he was the first chair, had a couple of years as the fourth and third chair before he... I mean, you paid Tom Brady too much money to put him anywhere else, but he should have had a chance to warm up to it. And I'm not saying he's going to be terrible at it forever. I just don't think he was very good at it. But I also don't think it's his fault, man. I mean, he's a busy dude that has a ton of stuff going on. If they would have given him a chance to ramp it up instead of throwing him right into the first chair, it'd be a little bit different, I think.
Well, his features that he has on Fox as well, like the analysis stuff, is pretty good. And I'm like, listen, the guy knows more football than any of us put together. So he's going to have some interesting and important things to say.
Also,
it's a little different during the game in a live enterprise.
The restrictions that are put on him are different than any other announcer as
That's
well.
his fault.
Correct, which also makes it a lot less fun, in my opinion. When you have to be cognizant of what you can and cannot say and how much you critique or not critique a situation, it is tough for you to be an analyst of a football game, I think. He's put in a, because of his own investments, he's put in a precarious position to make himself an actually effective announcer, I think. But doesn't mean he can't be good at what he does. I just don't think he's very good at it right now. Big J, I know you watch a lot of Food Network and you like food competition
I love
shows.
food.
Do you watch any of those on regular standard television? Like any of the stuff on Fox anymore? You watch any of the Gordon Ramsay stuff? Or you watch any of the other things that are on there?
On occasion, but not on the regular basis.
What about Top Chef? Did you ever get into that?
I never did. I always thought it was competing with Food Network, and I was a Food Network honk.
Oh, I see.
So, that was I'm a brand guy.
You didn't tell that to Tom Colecchio when he was a guest on our show.
Well, of course not. He was a guest on our show.
But if you might want to expand your horizons a little bit, there is a new cooking competition series called Yes Chef. I'm guessing because they couldn't call it The Bear, the reality series. But it's hosted by Martha Stewart and Jose Andres. I'm sure you're familiar with Jose, who's been a ton of stuff on Food Network.
He's a former Iron Chef.
This show will challenge 12 chefs with attitude problems, Big J, and will make them go through culinary
Gordon Ramsay,
tasks.
one of them?
No, to test their personal growth. The winner will have to display improved behavior and improved culinary skills to win the $250,000 prize.
That seems to me, and you can relate to this, almost any of the chefs on Chopped that got chopped.
Well,
like, none of them were they were always dissatisfied with the judges' decisions, and some of them had some real attitude on that show from time
what
to
the
time.
Food Network has taught me is that the food profession, chefs in particular, are egomaniacs that are very difficult. It reminds me a lot of radio.
Well,
like, nobody thinks anything they do is terrible. Everybody thinks they're the best that they are at everything, and everybody else is like, bro, take it down a notch. But it's a very much
I think
an
that's a real
attitude.
thing, though. I think that's real.
I absolutely believe. I think you have to have some sort of cockiness in order to do well in that job, and it never goes away. So you have to have that kind of thing. And this show, I believe, is supposed to put it in check. But again, it's called Yes Chef. And I believe that, this is essentially the plot of The Bear as well. I mean, the TV show on FX is all about a guy who's really, really good at being a chef, but also has difficult communication problems and has a problem. He's having emotional difficulties dealing with a lot of things that lead him to not be very good a communicator at his job. And so that's why this show exists. Whether or not you want to watch it, you'll have to check it out. It starts April 28th on NBC, right after The Voice, one of your favorite shows. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your important stuff. We get to talk a little bit about Pop Culture Smackdown. That's next on the X.
Here's traffic inside the
Pop Culture Smackdown. On the Morning After with Nick and Big J.
Nothing says love like Disturbed and 3 Days Grace and Seven Dust tickets. And that's what's about to go down here, February 25th, coming up here at the Ford Idaho Center Arena. We'll hook you up with these tickets if you can beat Nick in Pop Culture Smackdown. And you know what? We're going to have some Valentine's Day trivia to go along with it.
208-287-1003. It makes sense if you think about it. If you want these tickets to Disturbed, which is coming up in just a few weeks, you better get on the phone and see what you know about Valentine's Day against Big J and myself. Good luck. Big J, are you ready?
Or against yourself. Yeah.
Then to the phones we go. Hello, the X.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
Good.
Beautiful. You're up first. Good luck.
Which pop star starred in the romantic comedy Valentine's Day? Is it Beyonce, Lady Gaga, or Taylor Swift?
Lady Gaga?
It is not Lady Gaga.
Not Lady Gaga.
Nick knows the answer, apparently.
I do. I just listened to a podcast about this very movie. Hello, the X.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man. Big J's got a question for you.
Which pop star starred in this romantic Valentine's Day movie? Is it Beyonce, Lady Gaga, or Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift.
Correct. Nick, what recent TV show is named after an old-fashioned mean Valentine? Hint, it's on Showtime.
Eva Green's in it from the James Bond movies. Something. Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful is
Came
correct.
to me.
right.
I mean, it's a pretty big show. All right. What was your name, sir?
Jeff.
All right, Jeff. What's the name of the winged baby who is often pictured shooting arrows on Valentine's Day?
Cupid.
Cupid is correct.
Right.
Nick, the actual Saint Valentine is the patron saint of happy marriage and of what odd profession? Is it blacksmiths, beekeepers, or clowns?
St. Valentine's Day is the patron saint of one of those things?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to use my deduction powers because I don't think it's...
I love your deduction power.
I don't think it's clowns because that doesn't have anything to do... And then what was the first one?
Blacksmiths, beekeepers, and clowns.
Blacksmith. Okay. Well, honey, sweet, Valentine. I'm going to say beekeepers.
Yes, that's correct.
Nailed it!
God, I hate your deduction powers.
Sorry, I like to think about things logically.
Dumb. All right, we're out of Valentine's Day questions. All right, Jeff, founder Perry Farrell says he got the name of this music festival by watching The Three Stooges. Is it Coachella, Lollapalooza, or Bonnaroo?
Go Lollapalooza.
That's correct. Nick, what high school sport was Michael Jordan cut from his sophomore year that helped drive him to becoming the GOAT? Was it baseball, football, or basketball?
I think, was he cut from his basketball team? I'm going to say basketball.
Basketball is 100% correct.
Right.
I'm out of questions.
Yeah!
Jerk!
I love when I run the table,
jerk.
baby. Good job, man. Congratulations. You got yourself all set up with tickets to go check out Disturbed and 3 Days Grace and Seven Dust on the 25th. Hang on one second, Jeff. We'll hook you up with everything that you need. Morning After with Nick and Big J. We're going to talk Lounge at the End of the Universe next on the X Rocks. That is 3 days grace. That is Mayday here on the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Always know it's Friday when we talk about Lounge at the End of the Universe because it's weekend time and there's always something going on at the Lounge, which is why it's great to welcome back in Jen and Coral from the Lounge at the End of the Universe. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Oh, that was nice. It was a stereo.
Hey,
Very nice.
we just to work on our harmonies there.
But thank you for coming in. I imagine it's yet another awesome Valentine's Day weekend there, right?
Yeah, a happy VD. That's what whenever the year is that I'm single, that's how I like to tell people, happy
Fair
VD,
enough.
don't catch it. I'm too busy to even get it. Yeah, anyway, just stopping by Adam and Eve after this, y'all. Just treating myself right
Nice.
this morning.
Hey, listen,
what can
do
I
it
tell
up.
you? Yeah, we got an exciting weekend going on. We have Stephen Briggs, comedian, flew in from LA today, although not originally from there. I guess I have to say that because, I don't want people to be mad that.
Right.
But,
Bringing it to California
but
to
unfortunately, when you start doing well in comedy, there's two choices. It's Los Angeles or New York. And if you've ever been to New York, you'll know that it's triple the price to live there and the weather sucks. So LA it is for most people. But he's here this weekend. We have awesome shows at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock doors on those. And then tomorrow night, because we assumed that everybody's just going to go to the show and then try to get home before they're too tired to consummate the Valentine's Day, as you were. We have a Valentine's formal dance that will be right after the show. We paired up with Boise Speed Dating for that, and if you've ever been to one of their events, they're amazing. And we decided because we were kicking around price and everything. Oh, we're gonna decorate. It's gonna be really fun. We have a DJ coming in, Tim Beck, who's gonna be playing all of the nostalgic, like love-based songs through the decades. So we'll hit some people's childhood fun songs.
A lot of Nine Inch Nails.
Because it's a formal dance, he will be kicking some slow jams in between some of the dance numbers.
All right.
Like I said, it's formal, so you're going to want to dress up for that. Or just come to the show dressed up. Just, or you know what? Don't. Like, be counterculture and
There
wear
you
some
go.
combat boots and some ripped up stuff as well, if you want to. We decided just to make it free.
Okay.
So there's no cover for that. Oh, cool. Yep. So definitely show up and have some fun. But anyway, we're gonna get to just talking to Stephen though, because he got up extra early this morning and came in and he looks happy about it, which I'm suspicious.
You are? Hi, Stephen. Welcome, by the way.
Hey, man, I'm happy because I know tonight's going to be great. It's going to be great for if you have a date, come through. It's going to be amazing. If you're getting divorced, come through. It's going to be amazing. If you got food poisoning from Buffalo Wild Wings, come through. It's going to be amazing.
Stephen, how do you make plans? You're like, I'm going to be in Boise for Valentine's Day. I don't know your relationship status, but how does that sit?
Well, from one big beard man to another big beard man, I thought I'd come out and play in the snow, Yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
Come out, hang out in Boise, get down, have some the food, meet some of the locals. I hear, is this true? It's 11-1 odds on women to men.
Is that true?
That seems.
I haven't done the
weighted.
math, but that
I
might
heard
be.
that. I heard that's true. So I was like, look, I don't have a date. Best place to find a date. Let's go.
All right.
11 to 1. That there's 11 times
11
more
women, yeah, than men.
That,
I mean,
that would
listen.
explain why a lot of the men I know are in relationships that I don't feel like they should be.
Well, there's also a lot of those women might be Mormon too.
Hey, there you go. Come and knock on my door.
Yeah.
All right. Steven's into it. All right. Steven, when you're doing a Valentine's Day show, do you switch it up a little bit? Do you switch up the act to make it a little bit more catered towards Valentine's Day, or do you just kind of do what you do?
I don't plan my act.
Love
like
it.
I don't have like this comes and then here's the next
Okay.
chapter, the next chapter. It kind of flows with how it kind of everything unveils itself. So
That's nice. That's
Yeah.
cool. Kind of go with the flow, read the room, as it were, and kind of see what happens, right?
exactly. Like a speed date,
Yeah.
which, by the way, we're having over here at the lounge. By the way,
Yes, it's going to be fun. Yeah. Also, most comics I know have lives that are fraught with relationship issues anyway, so I don't think you need to tailor that.
Yeah, very nice. That's
Yeah.
good. But of course, I also know, Coral, that there are some Valentine's Day specials for the actual shows that revolving around some VIP packages, right?
Yes, we do. So VIP packages for the show, we do still have some of those available. It gets you a seat in the first 2 rows, plus a bottle of champagne. And we've got some pretty good champagne. It's not It's not Cooks. I promise it's not Cooks.
You know, that stuff that tastes like eagle piss. Don't ask me how I know that. Yeah, we're not serving that. We're not going to do you wrong.
Good. Steven, does that mean this is prime crowd work area when they're in the first two rows, or is
You
that
know what? We literally might just fly in an eagle and
I
let it
love
pee
it.
on you.
people
This is
pay
what
good money for
freedom
that?
feels like.
Feels like water play.
There we go. Yeah.
Steven, we love hearing the origin stories of people that come in. When did you know that comedy was something that you wanted to do, and maybe comedy and acting was a path you wanted to take?
I didn't know. I was at a show and someone signed me up for the show and I didn't know. And then someone's like, Stephen Briggs is next up. And I was like, oh, there must be another Stephen Briggs in here. And I look around, this old man behind me is like, go on up there, young blood. And then so I just went up there and told some stories. And then, now I'm here.
That's crazy. You know, that's not the first time we've heard that story of somebody else like just basically getting tricked into
Someone stole my life.
I mean, it may seem weird, but like people like to trick other people into making them do stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know what is. What's
Can
that
I ask you a
about?
question? Do you still speak to that person?
No.
Yeah.
They ruined my life.
But you're pretty damn good at it. You've been doing it for a while. You also have got some acting stuff on your resume. Do you enjoy that part of the gig?
Yeah, absolutely. I show up and, they're like, gotta say these lines. And I'm like, all right, cool. And then they're like, here's this nice paycheck. And I was like, I don't deserve this much for what I just did, but okay, I'll take it.
I mean, you were on a few episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, and I ate
What was
all
that
the
like?
crafty. I'm telling you, I ate so much cheese, like 1,000 pounds of cheese,
1,900 pounds of cheese.
1,900 pounds of cheese I ate.
Dude, I would have
over
just
the-
brought a trench coat and just filled it with muffins and just like
Oh,
anything I
yeah.
could get in there.
But
You
that's.
gotta-
Go ahead.
Oh no, you just got to get down. You ever jump in on a little crafty?
I've never had the opportunity to be on an actual set where that's
Well,
had that kind of stuff.
I would say you have the facial hair of Johnny Depp. You should
Thank
definitely go for it.
Thank you very much.
You're
That's
a
what I'm
stand-in,
going for.
Johnny Depp stand-in
Without the
right there.
creepiness, but thank you very much.
Exactly.
Stevie, you also, being on a set like Curb, I imagine, is a different feel than some of the regular stuff. It's a little bit more improv-y, a little bit more of an
It's actually
opportunity.
all improv. He
Yeah.
just gives you like a scenario and then he just goes. And you're just like, okay.
You like that kind of environment? That sounds fun.
Yeah, it was great. It was amazing. You're like, oh, okay, should I say something crazy right now or should I not? And it's like, yeah, just say whatever you want here.
That's
Like,
awesome. That is
yeah,
awesome.
exactly. So
Of course, Steven has been doing a lot of different acting stuff on top of that, and you've been doing comedy for, gosh, how long now, my man?
17 years.
Nice, dude. That's a
Yeah.
long stretch.
Yeah.
No joke. And you like the traveling around and bouncing around and doing your thing?
Yeah, I was just in Brazil. I'm going to South Korea later this year and the Philippines, do some gigs as well. So yeah, I love it. It's
great.
Yeah. So I had never left my place before, and then I had only gone to Tijuana to get dental done. To be honest.
My doctor's also in Tijuana.
We know the drill. We know what's up. Of course, and then you've got family here, so maybe bouncing back to Idaho could be something that's in the future as well, making this in a kind of regular place.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I have family out here. They love it. They're. That's how I found out about the 11-1 odds. Actually.
Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I believe your family, so I would take those odds.
Yeah,
for
my
sure.
brother's like, I'm doing so well out here. So well.
That's amazing.
That is great. Steven, if people want to follow you on the socials or find out more information, what's the best place to
It's
do that,
at
sir?
Stephen Briggs Comedy. Stephen is with a V. Briggs is Briggs at Stephen Briggs Comedy.
Beautiful. Go check him out. Follow him on the socials, and then check him out this weekend. LoungeBoise.com is where you can grab tickets. There's still some VIP ones. If you want to get romantic, you can certainly do that. But grab your tickets to check out Steven this weekend, and thank you all for coming in. We
and
appreciate
if you're
it.
single ladies and are hot,
Listen,
find Steven.
let's get an 11-1 ratio at the show tonight and see what ends up happening. What do you think?
Let's do it.
All right,
Yeah.
Steven's down. It's going to be crazy. LoungeBoise.com is where you can grab those tickets. Get them while you can. It's the morning after with Nick and Big J. We got some headlines next on the X. Big J, you may have heard us talk about it. It's time to be our guest. At xrock.com, click the Be Our Guest link. You can grab yourself $50 worth of the gift certificates to Gandolfo's New York Deli for just $25 while supplies last. They are limited edition, and it's an honor to welcome in Mike, who is one of the owners of Gandolfo's Deli here in the Treasure Valley. Good morning, Mike. How are you, man?
I'm good, Nick. How are you, man?
Very good, dude. Thank you for getting up early and braving the streets and coming in here to talk about things. We appreciate that, dude.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me. Big J, how's it going over
I'm
there?
good, man. Good.
Good to
I'm
see you.
very good.
Yeah,
You
we're
brought
talking-
in sandwich,
Yeah,
man.
we're talking about
dude.
Gandolfo's. You guys have been doing this for a while. We, Jay and I, both huge fans of what you guys do. Talk a little bit about that and why you guys decided to do that as maybe get into it as a living and own the place.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like most restaurant entrepreneurs, I spent a lot of time in corporate America a little bit, and really was just trying to figure out how to branch out a little bit. One of the things that we really enjoyed, I've spent a little bit of time back east, and one of the things that you really can't get here are just those New York style deli sandwiches, man. If you go to just a little bodega or something, you go in, you ask for some chopped cheese or something, some pastrami. That thing was just great, right? And so coming back here, where we just thought through ourselves, what are some good places we can get into, and then here comes along Gandolfo's, right? And then you're just really proud about it. We were super excited to get started. We have a big love of a big passion for just sandwiches in general. One of my favorites is our meatball sub. Man, I just fell in love with sandwiches, man. And I just thought, man, if I could do this every single day for everybody, life would be great. And so my wife Lacey, shout out to Lacey, hey, we just decided to get this started. And so, it's something that we're super passionate about. We love our sandwiches, love customer service, love being out in community, and just truly enjoy it.
What separates New York style deli from some of the other sandwich joints you might come across?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. One of the things that we enjoy about our deli is that we tell people all the time, you can get a sandwich from anywhere, right? You can get a sandwich from any of the major corporations, just anywhere. What we really take pride on is our fresh baked bread. We bake our bread fresh every single day, slice our meat fresh every single day, cheese. We use the best pastrami. We use the best cheese. A lot of our customers, when they come in, they tell us we have the best pastrami in Reuben, this side of the Tennessee, man. And so, we're really super excited about that. And, just those sandwiches that you get back east, they can't be touched. And if you've never been back east, you want a little taste of New York, we're the spot for you, man.
I love your meatball sandwich when I go in there, but every time I walk in, the pastrami calls my name. I absolutely love that sandwich so much. You guys are so great at it. And I know it's like picking out a favorite kid, but do you have favorites on the menu that you love?
Yes. I mean, I have favorites. When we first started, my goal was to try every different type of sandwich, we could think of. And we try to tell people all the time, don't let the menu overwhelm you. It's a big menu.
Yeah.
Don't let it overwhelm you. But I always refer to our specialty sandwiches. One of my favorites is the Urban Cowboy. Urban Cowboy, it's the breaded chicken, barbecue sauce, bacon with cream cheese on a sub roll. That thing's just mouthwatering, man. That
sounds
insane.
delicious.
I don't know why. I love cream cheese, and I've never really had it on a sandwich before until I hit your Gandolfo's, and I'm like, this is delicious. Why isn't this more of a thing? Is that must be an East Coast New York thing, right?
Yeah,
there.
a lot of cream cheese, man. A lot of cream cheese. I'm a big chicken fan. We also have the Buffalo Bill that also has some cream cheese on it. It's really good. Yeah, it's a big bag east.
I mean, you want a cutlet sandwich, you hit up Gandolfo's, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Whether you're looking for lunch or dinner, man, they got you covered. It's delicious either way. And Mike, we want people to pop into your location. Where is your Gandolfo's location located?
Yeah, we have two locations. Our main one in Meridian, in front of the Shields building. On Vanguard. It's off of 10 Mile. We have that one. And then we have another one in Caldwell inside the Indian Creek Plaza, located right there in the heart of it.
Beautiful. So if you're looking for a deal, if you haven't tried it before, let us encourage you to be our guest and grab yourself $50 worth of Gandolfo's for just $25. These are limited edition while they're there. If they sell out, they're gone. So grab them while you can. They're available now at xrock.com. And Mike, thank you for coming in, brother. We appreciate it. Good to meet you.
Nick, Big J, thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Bad impressions.
So far, I'm not impressed.
On the morning after with Nick and Big J.
Let's hook somebody up with some tickets to the Young Dubliners. They're going to be here on Friday, March 7th out at the Knitting Factory. So we'll gladly hook you up those tickets here if you can figure out bad impressions today.
All right, here's our phone number, 208-287-1003. If you'd like to play, what is the game? It's Bad Impressions. It works like this. Big J has prepared 3 clues. They are all supposed to, in theory, point you in the direction of somebody that is pretty famous. If you can figure out who that famous person is in 3 clues or less, congratulations. It is you going on. Check out the Young Dubliners coming up on the 7th. That's going to be a pretty cool concert. Big J, are you ready?
I'm ready, man.
And to the phones we go. Hello, the X. Hello. Hello. Hello!
What a bummer. Too bad for you.
Listen, some people, they get scared. They get intimidated. They know they're like, listen, Big J has been on a sports kick lately. It might be a little bit difficult for us to pull that kind of stuff off.
I feel like today's is right up their alley.
Oh, okay. It's in the rock world?
No, not really.
Hello, the Eggs.
Hello, I'm calling to play that impression.
All right. Happy
All right,
Valentine's
thanks for
Day.
the speakerphone. All right, here we go. Hey, man, that's like it's like a lot of drugs, man.
It's an actor, right?
Huh?
It's an actor, right?
What?
That's what we're going for.
It's an actor. He's
Yeah,
asking.
I guess in some respects, sure. My last name rhymes with bong, man.
Get the last one?
I'm glad Cheech and I are friends again, man.
It's Chong.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah.
take it. Jeopardy rules. Good job, man. Hang on 1 second. We'll hook you up with those Young Dubliners tickets. Why is Tommy Chong in the news?
Big news, man. Cheech and Chong's last movie. So there is going to be a documentary about those guys and their relationship and the movies and all of that. Limited theatrical release, of course, on April 20th, Nick. Nationwide release on April 25th. And it should be interesting that they plan on covering the 20 years that they were together, and that is going to be pretty interesting, I would say.
Will you watch it, Mr. I don't like documentaries?
That's not true. I like documentaries fine. I just don't like your documentaries that you enjoy.
I mean, when's the last documentary you watched?
I don't remember their names.
Exactly.
Like, half the stuff I watch on History Channel is documentary, bro.
Yeah, but that's a TV show. It's different than an actual film.
It's still a documentary.
No, I understand, but it's not a film. It's different than you watching a 22-minute telling of a story than you watching a film about it. Like going to the movie theater, sitting down, and committing to a particular topic about this.
I would not spend my time.
I would guess it's
that way.
Anvil, probably, with the movie that you and I saw together at the Flicks would probably be the last
that I went
documentary.
to a documentary movie theater. What the hell?
So, I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm actually more excited about the years they weren't together. I want to find out why they stopped talking to each other for all those years.
I hope that is a part of this. I don't know for sure, but
one of my biggest regrets, Big J, I did not see them when they come to play the Rev Center a couple years ago.
Either.
I wish I would have won. I wish I would have gone. Morning After with Nick and Big J. There's your bad impressions. We wrap up the show here next on the X Rocks. Hey, Papa Roach, even if it kills me, wrapping up the Morning After with Nick and Big J. Thank you very much for hanging out with us, not only today, but all week long. Always appreciate it. Had some special guests pop by. Thanks to Stephen Briggs for coming by. Also, thanks to Jen and Coral from Lounge at the End of the Universe for coming by. Big Valentine's Day shows happening today and tomorrow at the Lounge. LoungeBoise.com is where you can grab your tickets. Thank you to Mike from Gandolfo's Deli for coming by talking about the Be Our Guest special available now at xrock.com. You can grab $50 to Gandolfo's for just $25 and for bringing by some sandwiches, Big J.
Man, it would have been disgusting for people to watch what we did.
Yeah, I mean, thank goodness we edited out some of that stuff for the video podcast. My goodness gracious. But we also had a chance to learn a little bit about Valentine's Day in general. Hopefully you have a great one and a romantic one. Your relationship could depend on it, and we found out today. That leaves you with the floor, Big J.
Yeah, listen, I think we've always known Saquon Barkley, a pretty good dude, but he refused to go on the Jimmy Fallon show. I wish I could just say that was the end of it. But unless he could bring the entire offensive line, and he did that, and then he gifted each of the guys in the line an entire truck. I mean, we're talking a beer truck full of Bud Light.
All right. I bet you that he didn't pay for that, though.
I don't care. That's
just
pretty
saying,
damn awesome.
It is cool to do that. There's no doubt about it.
So
I do like that.
I wonder after the Super Bowl and how easily it seemed that they won, how much the regret they had on not trying to get that record for the 2000 the record, the rushing record.
Oh, wow. Well, I don't think he has any regrets for playing that. I think it kept him fresh for the playoffs, and he was able to go on those runs that they went on because of it.
Listen, that offensive line coming back, they can take another crack at it next year.
That's why they're the favorites to win it all, Big J, if you believe Vegas, and I know you do with your betting addiction. Morning After with Nick and Big J.
I'm not a gambling addict.
For us, sure.
Horse crap.
Sure. There's your show. We will see you guys next week. We're off Monday for President's Day. We'll see you collectively on Tuesday. Have a great long weekend. It's the X Rocks.